Hello, Hammers. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts in the comments. Stay tuned so you're always up to date with the biggest Hammers stories. Supporter of West Ham, it's time to talk about another big challenge. In the next match, we will face Arsenal, a club that is going through a very particular moment. They have a very strong squad full of good players, but they still live under the pressure of being demanded to win trophies. The truth is that under the command of Mikel Arteta, Arsenal have grown a lot. They have returned to consistently competing at the top of the Premier League. They have fought for trophies, but they still suffer from the lack of that achievement, which truly changes a manager's story. In football, just being competitive is not enough. And in the case of Arsenal, a giant club in England, always being close is not sufficient. The fans demand silverware, and this pressure only increases. Arteta's style is very clear, an intense, tough team, capable of fighting for every ball, often reminiscent of Simeone's Atletico de Madrid. They are strong at set pieces, have defenders who enjoy physical duels, and know how to turn every challenge into a battle. It is a team that knows how to suffer, but also demands a lot from the manager. That is why many already say if Arsenal do not lift a trophy this season, perhaps the time will come to rethink the strategy. Of course they have quality pieces. Players like Odegaard, who acts as a creative maestro in midfield, as well as young promises like Lewis Skelly, and names who have returned from injury to give more depth to the squad. They count on solid defenders, fullbacks who can push forward, and a reliable goalkeeper. It is a squad with two strong options in practically every position, something that shows the heavy investment made in recent transfer windows. But even with all this strength, Arsenal still give the impression that the final step is missing. They have already been very close in recent seasons, fought with Liverpool and Manchester City, but stumbled at the decisive moment. And this repetition is starting to weigh on them. Could it be that now is the time for them to take that missing step? There are those who say that Arsenal will only win something big if their rivals slip. If Liverpool and City are at their peak, it is very difficult for the Gunners to overcome them. But the season has its highs and lows, and not always do the favourites manage to keep up the pace. It is in this space that Arsenal dream of entering. Meanwhile, we know West Ham must find the right balance. Players like Jared Bowen, Somerville, and even the youngsters coming through need to be decisive. In midfield, Fernandes has shown personality, asking for the ball, calling the game, and he could be the creative key to controlling Arsenal's rhythm. Now, what should we expect? A battle. A fight for every ball. And for that, we need to be prepared with the right names in defense, a solid midfield, and an attack that knows how to take advantage of the few chances that arise. Before we move on, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Your support keeps the Claret and Blue family united and helps make West Ham stronger every single day. When we talk about West Ham for this match, we cannot hide the reality Arsenal have a superior squad. They have strength in almost every position while our team is still searching for adjustments. But that does not mean entering defeated. Quite the opposite. It means that every detail must be played with intelligence. In defense, there are important decisions to be made. Areola should remain in goal, a solid choice. The back line is the heart of our challenge. Kilman and Mavropanos have shown commitment but still fluctuate. Some prefer to bring back Aaron Wan-Bissaka, remembering he was voted Hammer of the Year with defensive performances that drew attention. He may not have had a perfect game against Chelsea, but he is tough in marking hard to dribble past and can give more security against a fast attack like Arsenal's. On the other hand, Kyle Walker-Peters has been consistent, has not made major mistakes, and has shown reliability. The choice between them is a dilemma. Keep faith with someone who is doing well, or bet on the one with more defensive potential. The decision also depends on the style Nuno wishes to apply. Against Arsenal, every interception, every individual duel can be decisive. In midfield, there are even more discussions. Magassa, who debuted against Everton, started nervously misplaced passes, but then grew into the match. He showed personality, looked for the ball, and proved he could be useful. He will still make mistakes as he is adapting, but the feeling is that he deserves another opportunity. Next to him, placing someone more experienced could be the key. That is why names like James Ward-Prowse and even Potts come into the conversation. A more physical midfield could help hold off the strength of the Gunners, who have players capable of dominating that area of the pitch. Further forward, Fernandes is seen as an essential piece. He is the kind of player who asks for the ball, who does not hide. Against Everton, he made it clear he has the courage to take responsibility, and that profile is fundamental against giants. Arsenal will press, they will force mistakes in the build-up, and in those moments we need someone who can make the difference, who has the confidence to carry the team. In attack, Bowen is a certain starter. Even if not the fastest, his directness, game reading, and dribbling ability make him a constant threat. On the other side, Somerville should be the piece of speed and audacity capable of opening space and launching counterattacks. The big doubt is at center forward. Marshall, young and promising, can provide more mobility, escaping the heavy marking of Arsenal's defenders. The idea of making him drop deeper and look for space, leaving the defenders without a fixed reference, is bold, but it may work. He has energy, presses the opposition's build-up, and constantly unsettles. Another option is to use Füllkrug, more physical, capable of contesting aerial balls, and also helping defensively at corners. Against such a dangerous opponent in set pieces, having one more player in defense could be crucial. The choice between Marshall and Füllkrug is practically choosing the style of play, mobility, or strength. There are also those who advocate for Paquetá in a more advanced role, almost as a false nine. That would give the team more ball control and creativity, allowing Bowen and Somerville to attack spaces with freedom. It is a different solution, but one that could surprise. In the end, any choice must take into account one fact: against Arsenal, we will not have many chances. We need to be clinical. We need to make sure that when a ball falls to us, it is taken. And above all, we need to compete in every duel, not repeat apathetic performances, like in some recent matches where even the desire to fight was missing. This is the spirit that West Ham supporters want to see: 11 players on the pitch who do not give up, who fight for every ball as if it were the last, who show that the claret and blue shirt does not step onto the pitch just to participate but to compete. Before we carry on, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. This is really important because it strengthens the claret and blue family, making our West Ham bigger and stronger every day. West Ham supporter, we know very well the size of the challenge ahead of us. Arsenal are in a strong moment with a deep squad, top-level players, and a manager who has already consolidated his philosophy. Each season, the pressure on them grows because the demand for trophies is huge. But here's the truth: in football, nothing is guaranteed. No favorite steps onto the pitch with victory assured. And if there is one club that knows this well, that club is West Ham. Our history is full of chapters where nobody believed and yet we surprised. How many times have we seen West Ham face Giants clubs with much more money and star-studded squads and still leave the pitch with a win? This is part of the essence of our team. This memory cannot be forgotten because it is precisely what gives us hope now. And why not believe? Why not think that even against a flying Arsenal, we cannot secure a positive result? The claret and blue shirt has already toppled favorites before and can do it again. Of course, reality cannot be ignored. Arsenal are today one of the most consistent teams in England. They have players like Odegaard, who orchestrates midfield with mastery, young promises like Lewis Skelly, solid defenders like Gabriel and Timber, fullbacks who support well, and attackers who know how to decide games. It is a squad with options in abundance. But that does not stop us from fighting. That does not stop us from believing. What the supporter wants to see is simple fight. Sweat, grit, seeing every player on the pitch giving everything, never hiding. In recent times, that flame has often seemed extinguished. The spark of pride was missing, the attitude of saying, "We are here and you will have to sweat to beat us." Now with Nuno, that flame has been reignited. Just look at the emphasis in training on set pieces, on intensity, on seeking more direct play. These may seem like small details, but they change the spirit of the team. The older supporter who has seen so much knows how to recognize this. They know the difference between a team that steps onto the pitch to compete and one that merely participates. What they want is West Ham competing for every ball, fighting for every long pass, battling for every corner. Even if the opponent's technique is superior, nothing can be greater than the will to win. That is the spirit we need in this match against Arsenal. They are favorites, of course they are. But their favoritism only makes the taste of any point we win even sweeter. Imagine the celebration if we manage a narrow, hard-fought victory with just one shot on target but enough to grab 3 points. Imagine the joy if we come away with a draw after defending like lions. That is the kind of result that marks a season that boosts morale, that shows we are alive. And it would not be the first time we have played this role. In so many seasons, we have toppled giants. In so many times, even in difficult years, we gave the supporter unexpected joy of victory that seemed impossible. This is the soul of West Ham: when least expected, we surprise. The match will be very tough, no one doubts that. Arsenal will press, they will want to control, they will create chances. But West Ham can indeed offer resistance. Every corner defended will be a cry of relief. Every counterattack launched by Bowen or Somerville will be a spark of hope. Every intervention from Areola will be a reminder that we are still in the game. And detail is important. A single detail can decide it. It might be an aerial ball with Mavropanos or Kilman. It might be a shot from distance by Fernandez. It could even be a mistake by the opponent exploited with intelligence. Football is like that. Sometimes 90 minutes of pressure are undone by a single counterattack. And that is what we need to believe in. But beyond the result, there is something even greater. What the supporter wants to feel is pride. Pride in seeing the team play with courage, in seeing the players not shrink away and realizing that West Ham are not just another opponent in Arsenal's calendar, but a rival worthy of respect. If victory comes, it will be historic. If a draw comes, it will fill our chests with pride. And even if defeat comes, let it be honorable with sweat, with fight with spirit. Because what cannot happen again are those apathetic performances without aggression, without a card for fighting, without showing that the shirt has weight. That is not West Ham. West Ham is grit. West Ham is challenge. West Ham is going onto the pitch knowing that even against giants we can still trip destiny. So supporter, let us go into this match with hope. Let us believe that anything can happen. Arsenal may be flying, may be full of confidence, but they also have their weaknesses. They also make mistakes. And in those moments we must be strong. In the end, what remains is the feeling of belonging. West Ham are part of our life, part of our memory. And every match like this is an opportunity to write another page of our story. It does not matter if the final score is a win, a draw, or even a loss. What matters is that we are there with the same passion as always, with the same faith as always, believing that better days are always ahead. Because this is West Ham, a club not defined only by victories but by fight, a club not measured only by trophies but by the heart of its supporters. And it is with this heart, with this tradition, that we will step onto the pitch against Arsenal. Let the challenge come. Let Arsenal come. And whatever happens, may we walk away with our heads held high, certain that we gave everything. Because in the end, West Ham never surrender. And that's all for today's West Ham news. If you enjoyed the content, don't forget to hit the like button, share it with fellow fans, and of course subscribe to the channel so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Come on, you Irons.